Hello and welcome to Behind the Plastic, a show where toy photographers interview toy photographers about toy photography. I'm Zach, also known as Sequential Plastic. Here with me are my two dudes, TMNT 1987, Not a Bird, Not a Plane Photography. Say please hi this time. Say it.
Please hi.
Oh yeah, I said that backwards. Still Jay is silent.
I'm gonna change my name to Bob.
Well, he should change his name to Bob,
Well,
and
can
you
be
can
silent,
be Jay.
I'll be Bob. There you go.
Okay, silent
Whatever.
Jay. Okay,
keep going. I'm
Silent
sorry.
Jay and Bob.
I derailed you. I'm sorry.
Off to a great start. Our guest today is a collector extraordinaire, and I'm convinced every available surface in every room of her house is crammed full of toys.
Right.
Everybody, please welcome Kushiemama!
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Of course. And to answer that opening statement, the only safe room in my house is the bathroom. And even then, there's at least a kid's toy of some sort.
I knew it.
Yes, exactly. Stuff like that. Right? So yes, you are correct.
I had a feeling. All right, Mandy, you know how this works. We have 12 minutes. I'm starting the clock right now, and we are going to try to get to know you a little better. So
Sure.
in an effort to do so, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Not much to tell. I mean, obviously, I collect a ton of toys, as everyone who follows me knows. I collect everything from Marvel, DC, McFarlane, NECA, all the stuff in between. Toy Biz, stuff from, 90s, obviously 80s and beyond. Past 8 years, roughly, I got serious into collecting, and my shelf grew from one Funko Pop to, who knows, hundreds of thousands of toys later, totes and rooms and stuff. That's basically me in a nutshell. I just became a toy collector overnight, I guess, right? It was always something that we love. We all have toys that we love from our past, and some of us lost them, whether parents gave them away or tragedy or whatever, right? So, yeah, that's just me in a nutshell. That's it.
That's it. I kind of doubt that.
Yeah, that's all.
What's your favorite line to collect? Is it Star Wars? Is it Ninja Turtles? Is it wrestlers? What do you
For
got?
me personally, I prefer Spawn. Like if I see something Spawn, I'm sitting there, whether it's 90s Spawn or modern Spawn, I'm just sitting there contemplating what I'm getting. Am I going to go modern?
Really?
Am I go, oh yeah, I have tons, and I like a lot of the 90s stuff. So I do have a lot of the 90s figures on my shelves, I don't know what it is. I just liked it because it was very dark for our time.
Yeah.
Right. And even now, like, I didn't realize that I put it on for my 6-year-old to watch. I'm like, oops. Probably not the most appropriate cartoons to be watching, but it was something that I just grew up on. So whenever I see something like that and it's intricate enough or worth it to me to bring home, I'm bringing it home with me.
Nice. Sully, I saw you looking around. Sully was recently lamenting some of his Spawn toy purchases.
I bought like a crap ton of Spawn one day. Sometimes you just blank out and you come out of the toy store. You're like, what did I just buy?
I know. I just opened the new Violator last night, and like the box is huge, but I take it out. I'm like, this is like way bigger than I actually thought it was going to be in comparison to some of the newer ones, like the Cygor and stuff. So now it's like I got to rearrange the whole Spawn shelf just to fit the bigger pieces on. Like, I don't know, right?
Oh my god! Well, they all look amazing. Like he was showing them to us.
They're great.
They're intricate.
You know what?
Awesome.
I gotta be honest, man. I have never seen any Spawn stuff. And Kushiemama, I think after this, I'm gonna need to watch some Spawn stuff.
You should probably do so.
So if anyone is like me, where do we start with Spawn? What do I gotta watch or see or read?
Well, if you're reading, there's so many ways to go. That's the problem with Spawn. Like, there's so many good places to start. I mean, you start at the original, obviously. Number one, you got a origin story, right? Okay. I personally like the cartoon over the movie. There was a cartoon available for us to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's on Amazon Prime. If you have access to that right now, we watch it. That's what I personally like. That's what led me into it, right? Because animation when we were kids is what we were watching. We weren't watching these darker shows. Our parents weren't. We are now. But they weren't back then, right? So, but yeah, that's me personally. I always say start at the cartoons if that's kind of stuff you're into, right? More retro feeling, right?
Yeah, those cartoons are rad. Movie has its moments.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're mainly a collector, I would say, right?
For the most part, yeah.
That's kind of your thing. You run the collectors sector on YouTube and on Instagram. You do a show of your own and interview toy photographers and other collectors and stuff. But you also do toy photography.
Yes.
How does that work? When do you just do toy photography when the mood strikes, or like when you're doing a collab, or how does that work?
Pretty much when the mood strikes. Now, living with someone who does 15,000 photos in a week, which is danger room toy photography, I can't compete with that and the creativity. It's like, well, I can't, right? So, for me, I work a very hands-on job where I don't have enough time with my routine to get it done, which some people do, which whatever. So there'll be times where I'm like, oh, this would make for a great photo. And that's exactly the spur of the moment. Right. Or I see something like, oh, I'm going to open this toy today. But before I do that, let me get some cool shots or like open up whatever. Right. So for me, it's spur of the moment. It used to be very planned. I used to be up every single night last year for those session tags at 10, 11 o'clock. But it burnt me out a little bit. So I stopped, and then I just never picked up that consistency again. Right. It's very sporadic where I'll grab the camera and be like, oh, I'm going to take a photo today. Right? So.
All right. That's understandable. Well, maybe we should take a look at one of your photos since I brought it up. And, it's funny that you mentioned loving Spawn because...
Is it a Spawn? I love this. Yeah. So this is a great photo, actually.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was like unsure of it, but I am very hard on myself in sense of I don't like making backgrounds if I can find something that is just naturally there. So this was my first time going to the Catholic church here in my hometown. And I was like, hey, why not bring your Redeemer spawns with you? Right? Like, why not? I got stared at a lot as church was coming out, but I was like, it's not a bad one. It could have been the dark Redeemer spawn, right?
Right. Could have been the Violator.
Yeah. So this is my first time going to a location and incorporating it and trying to incorporate the whole feel to it. And I thought, although it's very amateur for me, I actually really liked this photo. So I gave her a shot, and it turned out quite a few other people liked it too.
Yeah, well, we really love it too. That's why we chose it.
The thing that kind of strikes me is like the lack of color anywhere except the blue. Am I just colorblind, or is that the intentional stuff?
I did turn it down, so I did kind of like in my Photoshop, they're all names and stuff. It's like a dramatic setting, but I ended up doing kind of like what do you call it? It's a color selection with it, right? Like, so I just kind of removed some of the black and gray. It's weird, right? It's like Pixar and / this and that, right? So, I liked it. I did that intentionally. I darkened it to feel more stone-like, right? Kind of more with the building. So
super cool.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
I remember last time we talked, you were telling me that you were in the middle of making a dio, a rooftop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
How's that going?
So it's not anymore, just because my son, I mean, it's still there. It's still the bare bones there, but my son has decided to turn it into a hamster racing track. So I said, well, I mean, I'm not going to be upset if the hamster needs some free time and he wants to be on the rooftop dio in progress, but I can't use it ever again. I can't paint it if that becomes hamster, right? So it's there. I've stopped using it because temporary use is for other things right now. But it is something I'm looking at other people's work as I'm contemplating my next move with it and trying to find other things that I can try to incorporate into it to kind of make it a little bit more than what I'm seeing, right? More than my vision. So we'll get there.
I think you should post a picture of the hamster race.
I thought the same thing, like a video of him running around. There's like even a little emergency exit that I built there. So, so we just bring my hamster.
Getting back to this amazing shot, is this okay? Now you mentioned Danger Room before. Now I know you kind of share a collection, right? Would you consider this one of your toys or one of his toys, or are they
That's mine.
all okay? That's yours. And
I will tell you, it is a fair and even split down the middle, but Mike has a lot more of the Marvel collection in comparison to me, where I have more of like your Spider-Man, your horror, your, Universal monsters, where Mike will be, Danger Room gets a lot more like G.I. Joe, DC, McFarlane.
Okay.
Right. So, but this is my own personal fear.
Very nice.
I have a couple questions about this photograph as well. Did you use a camera or your phone?
I use my cell phone. My cell phone has 5 cameras, so I was like, why am I going to go drag another camera with me?
Okay, because I was looking at like the perspective, like it looks like it's the right size for like I thought maybe it was a dio behind it. I mean, you told us that it's an actual church, so I was just looking at the size ratio. I'm like, you posed it and placed it perfectly to make it fit in with the background.
Yeah, I did. So I ended up finding like a little perch that goes up the stairs that is down a level for me, and I actually got down lower than that to get that shot.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I was like maybe like 3 feet down and just kind of zoomed in a little bit, but yeah, it was interesting, especially with the Kirks releasing for the day.
You did a fantastic job.
Thank
Well
you.
done. We want to see more toy photos of yours. Keep them coming.
Thank you. I'll try.
Mandy, today we're going to try something new. Instead of putting you on the hot seat, which we usually do, we're going to play a game called This or That. We're going to give you 2 options, and you have to pick which one you like better or which one you choose. We're going to start it right now. King Kong or Godzilla?
Oh, shit, man. Come on. Godzilla. Like, that's... Yeah. No, but
Right.
Godzilla, yes.
Photos or videos?
Sorry?
Photos or videos?
Probably videos.
They always like this question, so I'm going to ask you: would you rather hit every red light for the rest of your life, or step on a Lego every day for the rest of your life?
Well, I mean, I think I already do it, but I'm going for every red light for the rest of my life. I think I get those every day of the week.
Hate those Legos. All right, here's another tough one for you. Frankenstein or Creature from the Black Lagoon?
I don't like you right now.
We're getting the hard truths right now.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
All right. I think I have the hardest one. Well, you know what? It might be easy. Blockbuster or Netflix?
I miss Blockbuster. I'm not gonna lie. Netflix is garbage. Sorry, Netflix. I don't appreciate your collection anymore.
Would you rather have a dream vacation or your dream toy?
Dream toy. I don't go anywhere. I'm happy at home.
Nice.
With my toys.
Okay, Spielberg or Scorsese?
Oh. I'm gonna have to give it to Spielberg just because he makes more like kid-friendly stuff that I can still watch to this day.
Nice.
Right?
Fair. Board games or video games?
Video games. Board games get tossed in this house. There's no fair competition when it comes to a board game here.
Foreign cars or domestic?
Probably. See, I have both. So, probably domestic because I can get the parts a little bit easier when things break down.
We're going with domestic. Thank you so much for coming on. That's all the time we